another day, another striped shirt. Welcome to a 24-hour reading vlog. Brittany from Basically Brit hosts these basically, what are they called? 24-hour Basically Readathon? Or 24-hour readathons hosted by Brittany. Very casual. I decided to do it this weekend so I can set aside some time to read the book club pick for August for the Krusty Club hosted by Chanel over at Chanel Time, and that book is Radio Silence. I don't know what this is about. All I know is that it follows two teenagers. One of them has a podcast, and that's it. That's all I know about it. But in the back it says, an intense, highly engaging, well-plotted story of kids yearning to be their truest selves despite it all. I love yearning of any kind. So I'm gonna read this. This mentions Vine. R.I.P. Better times. It mentions Glee. This is, man. This is just everything junior high high school ISOL was about. I like it. is kind of reminding me, what a terrible angle. This is kind of reminding me of Fangirl because so the main character, or one of them, is named Frances. She makes fan art for the YouTube podcast show that she watches. And then the person behind the YouTube account like messages her and was like, "Hey, I like your art. Do you want to collaborate?" But then he's like, "But I'm a nonprofit, so I can't pay you." And I was just like, "Bro, pay your artist." And I'm like, "Francis, don't do work for free, okay?" She's talking about how, like, I can't even sell my art. I was like, make an Etsy. Lots of people do it. Also, I like that they're British because they're talking about their GCSEs and being in sixth form. I don't know what that means, but I like it. I discovered that all three of the original Jurassic Park movies are on Netflix, and so I've been reading to this. Just people screaming and dinosaur growling. Very relaxing. Alright, the readathon is over. You're just gonna have to take my word for it that I did finish this in 24 hours. But even if I didn't, it's fine. So, Radio Silence by Alice Oseman. 5 stars. A surprising 5 stars considering that I didn't even know what this was about. I just knew it was something with the podcast. But it's so many things. The whole time, I just felt so nostalgic reading this, even though I've never read it before. And it's because so much of this just reminded me of high school. Just like the academic pressure, but it's like you're how do I explain this? It's like academic pressure, but you're kind of giving into the pressure even though you don't really have a reason for it. It's like you're kind of just doing it because it's expected. It's like, yeah, I'm gonna go to college because, that's the next logical step to take. But that's not, college isn't for everyone. Like in this, Frances, she even said like there was a conversation between her and her teacher, and her teacher was like, "What degree are you gonna get?" And she said English lit, and she was like, "Oh, I thought you were gonna get art." And she was like, Frances was thinking to herself like, I get good grades in my academic subject, and if I don't get a degree in those, it would just be
a waste of potential. And she was like, well, I can't get a degree in something that I enjoy, like art, which is, I don't know. My thoughts are all over the place. The thing, the scene that stood out to me the most was between, well, I mean, all of the scenes are between Francis and Aled, but when Francis looked into Aled's wardrobe and saw that they had the same taste in weird clothing, that reminded me of junior high. One of my best friends, she was in Germany for the summer, and we were emailing each other. And that's when I first discovered fashion blogs. And there's this one blog that even now, it's probably gone, that's why I can't find it, but I still trying to look for it. And it's the first time I saw this girl, the way she dressed, it was truly just like, that is me. That is how I want to dress. That's how I want to be. It was just like dark neutrals, layers. Her hair was all long and flowy. And I remember sending a link to my friend. I was like, this is how I want to dress. If, we didn't live in Texas and it was too hot for layers. And if I distinctly remember writing this down, and I was like, I would dress like this if I knew people wouldn't look at me weird. And my friend was like, OMG, I love that style too. That's how people here actually dress. And then that summer was truly like when we bonded, because we bonded over that fashion style. We also bonded over like the same music. So that moment between Francis and Alec reminded me of that moment between me and my friend, and it was a nice moment. Also, it was interesting to think about a time that I cared about what people thought about how I dress. Now I pretty much dress however I like. And it's weird to think that there was a time that I that I cared. Alad Last as a character is the most me character I've probably encountered. Him and Nora from Scum, they are me. Alad, just like the way he deals with things, meaning that he doesn't deal with them. He just puts his head down and tries to keep to himself and deals with it instead of like asking for help, or he puts all of his energy into something else as opposed to like asking for help. And then the whole mentality of push them away first before they push you away, I felt seen with a capital S. It's also when everybody found out that he was the creator, and people found out about it, he got mad. And one of the side characters was like, well, is he just complaining about being famous? That's so dumb. Why is he complaining? Check your privilege. And that made me angry because it makes sense to me why Alid is upset that people know. Like, it makes so much sense to me. When you have something that's just like yours and yours alone, and it exists for no other reason other than the fact that you enjoy making it, it's such a nice feeling. And then like once people find out about it, it's just an instantaneous, like, it's just a different feeling. And then even if you're not really thinking about it, you are creating for the people that know it exists. And it's not as fun anymore. This book put me in such a contemplative contemplative mood that it just reminded me of high school. But like, it made me miss my guy friends. I feel like if I had read this in high school, it would have changed how I viewed college. I would have still gone to college, but like, it would have changed my views on it, definitely. Or it would have at least, maybe I would have gone to community college first, which I feel like is not something people talk about, especially guidance counselors. Like, bro, do your job. It's like, college isn't for everyone, and people who do want to go to college, they should know that community college is an option, not only financially, but like it's a good stepping stone to go from high school to college, because going straight to a four-year university is stressful. And I can only imagine how much more stressful it is if you don't know what path you're taking. I'm going off on a tangent now. So there's so many things about this that I love. 5 stars. I'm glad I read it. I wish this existed in high school and that I read it then, but I'm glad that it's in my life now. Much to think about.